Guess I'm getting a little creative with the placements for this camera. It's actually stuck within a lampshade right now. No headphones, but we do have a cat that wants my attention. Today, I'm going to talk about the Dump Buckets. The Dump Buckets was a beer blog that I did with a few friends. It was more of a glorified Twitter feed. But I would go in and I would just retweet local breweries, just kind of getting the word out, sharing the positive vibes in the field that I got from these locations. I did that for a long time. And then I kind of got depressed. It wasn't fun anymore. And the group kind of disbanded. Blah, blah, blah. That's okay. Move on to other things, bigger, better things, hopefully. That's kind of one of the things I want to accomplish with here. What I was doing for the beer industry, I want to now do for the art industry and my art personally. One of the reasons I'm thinking about talking about the Dump Buckets is this shirt here. It is tattered. I just basically use it to paint now. But this is the Dump Buckets logo on it. It is a bleach burned shirt that I made for a beer festival. Because that's what we did. Me and my friends, we would go around to different beer festivals, bring a video camera to interview patrons, brewers, show us getting drunk off our butts, and then cut it all to music. And it was fun. It was weird. And it got started really, really, really weird. I just finished my first brewery painting. And it was of Sun King Brewing in Indianapolis, Indiana. And I was just getting into beer. I honestly started the painting before I actually enjoyed the beer. One of the reasons I started the painting was because I kind of fell in love with the people. They were super nice, super supportive, even though I wasn't really into beer at the time or talking about it. They wanted to hear more about art. And I was just kind of getting back into the art scene in Indianapolis. I took a hiatus after college because I was depressed. Depression seems to be a theme of these videos and me, but the reason I was depressed then, because when I graduated, someone broke into my art studio and stole several paints. Several drawings were torn, destroyed. Stuff was just missing from my studio, and it devastated me. And I was already on the fence. Do I want to keep doing this? Do I not? Hey, guess what? They made the decision for me. But a few years later, I kind of get the bug, started itching again. I got a commission piece that I actually did with only 5 tubes of paint that I still have left after everything was stolen. And I estimate is probably about between like $2,000 to $3,000 worth of paint stolen. That's a lot, especially when you're just graduating from college looking into the job market. So after this commission piece, which was of a dog, for some reason everyone always wants paintings of dogs, I was actually kind of happy with it. I got the bug. And I jumped into another painting. And it was a painting of escalators. Because for some reason in college, I really did enjoy painting stairs or drawing stairs. I still kind of like that. I like that repetition. I like the drawing elements. But I was painting the escalators at Circle Center Mall in Indianapolis. I was a figure painter when I was in college. I took several figure classes. I took anatomy for artists when I was at IU. But I couldn't afford figures. I didn't really want to just paint myself, but I knew my background suffered. This is all leading back into the Dump Buckets and breweries because I started painting the backgrounds. And the escalators I saw as backgrounds, something that was interesting, something that I can use to help hone my talent. Talking so much kind of dries out my throat a bit. Luckily, I'm asthmatic, so it makes it worse. So, around this time, my wife became friends with a coworker, and like most husband and wives. He goes like, hey, she has a husband you'll really like. And I was like in this whole mindset, I don't need any more friends. I don't want to come over. I'm good. That guy that I refuse to basically go hang out with is my best friend to this day. And also a very important member of the Dump Buckets because he started to bring me to breweries. Beer and craft beer was his passion. It's also his brother's passion. So he started bringing me to places, introducing me to his brother too. We started going to like beer festivals, started going to these places. Like I said, I wasn't a huge beer fan. It eventually clicked in my head when I started to associate beer and flavors with different teas. And then there was like a turnaround where, boom, beer was the thing. But like I said, I fell in love with the people first. I thought the places were cool. I'm working on the backgrounds of my paintings. Sun King is now huge. It just opened up. It is now a huge place that people are always going to. And I thought, since I like these places, I like these people, I kind of want to celebrate both. Let's do a brewery painting. So I write the owner an email. And I don't remember the response, and in fact, I think I lost the email. But it was something that said like, I don't care. Yeah, come, take your photographs, do what you need to do. Get it done. So I did. Took a ton of photographs and reference photos. And eventually, a year later, I did a painting. And one of the reasons I really didn't start on that painting or do it for like a year is because after I took all those photographs, I go in next week to get a couple of growler fills, and all the equipment's gone. Everything I took a photograph has been moved, changed, disappeared. Turns out they were upgrading their equipment and system. And I'm like, well, crap, that was a crapshoot. Why even bother? But I still liked it. Found a painting, had this really cool reflections in it, a red ladder, and water. Just water reflective surfaces. So I did a painting of Sun King. How does this all lead back into the Dump Buckets? Well, the next beer festival I go to, there's a little part in my head. It's like, I'm going to exploit this. I'm going to bring a video camera. I need to start like an art YouTube. I'm going to bring a video camera, interview people about art and beer. Basically just a way to introduce myself, find craft beer fans, put my painting in front of them. I don't know what I was going to do. I didn't know if I was going to get anything from it. I just did it. My friends go to the festival with me. I have my camera. I can't interview worth crap. Luckily, my friend Jimmy took that over. He basically started talking to these people. I just put a camera in their faces. And it was fun. It was weird. All of a sudden, we became known as the weirdos with the camera. We got so much weird behind the scenes, goofy things that happened. It was just fun, entertaining. I thought I had BS. I thought this was going nowhere. Beer festival is fun. Take the footage, put it on my computer, and let's cut and see what happens. And I got a video that I really enjoyed. We weren't the Dump Buckets then. The video was actually titled, Two Bros and a Budding Artist. Yes, that is annoying alliteration. By that time, I did another brewery painting before the next beer festival. And I thought, we had so much fun at that first festival, let's go ahead and bring a camera again to the second. Did the same thing, filmed a bunch of footage. I had more of a plan and an outline. This, and honestly, it was one of our first videos that kind of took off, but I couldn't stand it. I thought it was one of the worst videos I've done. I still think it's one of the worst videos I've done. The audio's awful. I just didn't know how to edit. I kept everything in. What I took out, I probably should have taken out a lot more. And it was weird. It was still fun though. So we just came up with a plan. Let's just keep bringing the video camera. I'll keep doing brewery paintings and cut them into the video somehow. The beer took over. The beer part was the fun part. I looked forward to it. I really, really enjoyed the drinking, the getting to know people, the talking with brewers. All of a sudden, we start getting known. The name The Dump Buckets actually came by because the group kept like growing, multiplying. People left, people came back. And just in one video, it was at a winter festival, and we just kept getting bad beer after bad beer, all flavors after all flavors. And there were no dump buckets. My friend Tony was like, where's a dump bucket when you need one? Our friend Estes, his name is Justin, but my name's Justin, so he was Estes. He goes, I'll be the dump bucket. And then we poured our beer down his throats. Cut to a few months later, we're actually drinking a series of beer called Vertical Epic, and I bring a camera to that too. And then Jimmy starts talking about this part he watched over and over and over again because it was so funny. And it's where Estes was like, I'll be the dump bucket. Me and Tony locked eyes. At that moment, we knew, oh, crap, that's our name. From that moment on, we became the Dump Buckets. That's why I started doing the Twitter feed. That's why I started doing like everything else involving this weird group. I came up with a logo on, on a notepad while at work. Put it into, not Photoshop or Illustrator, I put it into Microsoft Paintbrush and made this, what is this, of the guy holding a beer bottle, odd ears, odd eyes, pig nose, open mouth with crooked teeth. And it became our calling. People, eventually when we went to local breweries or people that knew us, I couldn't walk into a place without someone screaming, dump bucket. And it was fun. And then it stopped being fun. Because I'll admit, all of us were beer snobs. And probably beer hipsters, to be honest. We would go to the festivals and we would interview about between 10 and 12 people. Cut those parts into smaller parts. That way we just had enough footage for our beginning 3-4 minute segment. And the first question we always asked was, what's your favorite beer of the show? And we used to get answers like, oh, I can't remember what it's called, but we got it from this place and it tasted like this and it was delicious. Or like, oh, you have to check this out now. If they still have it, go get it. It went from these people excited about the beer industry, excited about new things, excited about trying and sharing, to all of a sudden the fad beer became the only thing people were talking about. And it happened at one beer festival, and we worked our way around it and cut around it. Then it happened at another festival, and I didn't really want to make the video because of it. And then it happened again, and I put away the camera. One of the reasons too, because I was depressed. The time frame from filming to putting out the video kept getting longer and longer. I was basically the creative force. I controlled the Twitter. Sorry. I controlled the Twitter. I controlled the filming. I controlled the interviews. I controlled getting everything out there, just being the face. And I didn't like it anymore. And I'm a little sad it went away. Now, in retrospect, because I can still look back to those videos and it's like, wow, this is us. This is us growing. This is us doing things. This is us developing. Now we still go to breweries. We still support breweries. Just not in the same way we used to. Now I'm a part of the beer industry. And some of the stuff I do, or I did back then, I do now for the breweries I work for. In fact, my boss, our first conversation is actually on tape in one of our dump bucket videos. Not too many people can say that they had their first conversation with their boss on video, goofing off and making fools of ourselves, but having a good time doing it. That's the thing. It was only supposed to be temporary. So I could work part-time there, work part-time on my art. It started becoming more of a full-time. Other things took over. I was tired, depressed, didn't want to do anything. Pushed the art to the side. Now I'm not going to do that. Depending on when you're watching this, we are in the middle of a pandemic when I'm filming. And because of it, it's kind of given me an opportunity to sit and look back and evaluate and put more time into art and different projects. That's Tintin, by the way. Like this painting. I'm going to keep working on. Should hopefully be done soon. Got this painting I did back in college. Made a TikTok of it. And I'm going to keep doing stuff like I did for the dump buckets, but hopefully for this channel, for my social media feeds, for TikTok. Just keep having fun, because I do enjoy this. I'm enjoying this. Enjoying this kitty. Say hi, Tintin. Still can't talk. Damn cat. But yeah, the dump bucket's separated. It was a good thing. Bad thing. All things. But now I'm using that opportunity to do this. Be creative for you. Be more productive than I have in a while. Show you some stuff that I've done. Show you some of my favorite artists, hopefully in the future. I can't wait to actually go to museums and talk about pieces and put them up here. I said, if you want to follow me in this journey, like, subscribe, ring the bell. I don't know where the bell is. How about you point and show me with your mouse? Ha 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 ha. Anyway, follow me on social media. Let's do this together. Hopefully, I'm a little bit inspiring someone out there to keep going, keep creating. Ask questions if you like. That's what I'm here for. I like talking about art. I'm going to keep talking about art. I'm going to hopefully keep enjoying this process. And honestly, this right now is the longest video I've done. It's just me talking and goofing off. Let's make it a little bit productive for both of us. I'm getting close. I can press the button.